We began in the United States, where President Donald Trump sat for an interview with Fox News on Sunday, where he spoke about his tariffs and their impact on the U.S. economy. Now, when asked about the possibility of the country slipping into a recession this year, the president declined to rule out the possibility. Of course, a recession occurs when there is a prolonged period of economic decline that's sparked by a decrease in output, consumer spending, and employment. Recession also leads to a decline in industrial production and household income, which means that not only do products become more expensive, but salaries of Americans fail to beat inflation rates, forcing many to cut into their savings. Now, after the interview, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick went into firefighting mode, where he rejected a possible economic downturn this year. Now, the United States has been a net importer for decades and relies heavily on Canada, Mexico, and China for consumer goods, the very same countries of which President Trump has imposed tariffs.
Our country, from an economic standpoint, a financial standpoint, and a trade standpoint, has been absolutely ripped off by almost every country in the world. Canada, Mexico, and then you just go right down the line. India charges us massive tariffs, massive. You can't even sell anything into India. It's almost restrictive. It is restrictive. You know, we do very little business inside. They've agreed, by the way, they want to cut their tariffs way down now because somebody's finally exposing them for what they've done. And same thing with China, same thing with a lot of other countries. And the EU has been a terrible abuser of this country. I mean, the EU was formulated in order to take advantage of the United States, and they have taken it, but they're not taking advantage when I'm in charge.
Meanwhile, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum and Canada's new Prime Minister Mark Carney have vowed to impose reciprocal tariffs on the United States. The tariff war is already impacting Americans who are now paying more for Mexican imports like cars, beer, tequila, and avocados. And for Americans who want to build new homes, well, they're now paying for higher prices for lumber, which is imported from Canada, along with gasoline and maple syrup. Now, despite obvious indicators of the harmful impact on the American economy, President Trump believes his tariff war will eventually bring jobs back to the United States.
Think of it, 90,000 factories are gone since the beginning of NAFTA. So we're not going to have that, and we're going to see them build it back. Now we've already had 5 major automobile companies. First time you've heard this in a long time, since my first term, actually, where we were really rocking and rolling, and then Biden came in and he stopped everything. Like, such a stupid thing to do, not even a believable thing. But we have many auto plants now coming in. We have big chip plants. We have the biggest chip company in the world, most powerful, probably one of the most powerful companies in the world. Wouldn't you say, Kevin? And he's coming in, and they're building one of the largest chip plants in the world. That'll be done in Arizona, mostly in Arizona.
Now, apart from goods becoming more expensive, President Trump's on-again, off-again tariffs have left investors and financial markets in turmoil as stock markets remain nervous about the president's next actions.
Merci beaucoup. Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Namaste, Mr. President.
Bharat Kelogan, Komeri Namaste.
How many people generally follow you in interviews?
Typically in a month, we have viewers up to 150 million. That's more than twice the population of France. And in the last 2 years, we had 3 billion viewers. So I say, Laurent, this is your chance to be famous. You're on Firstpost. One word to describe your equation with Prime Minister Modi.
Amitié.
As India and France work together, are you creating a new era of non-alignment in the technology space?
India is a training superpower. 1 million engineers a year, more than all of Europe and the US combined. So we have that partnership. We have a partnership on the environment and the economy. We also have civilian nuclear programs, and that is something we've developed far beyond the France-India relationship. So we want to work together on AI.
And then comes China with its DeepSeek, creating models at a fraction of the cost. Did that innovation take you by surprise? Did that breakthrough make you sit up and think, what did the Chinese do and how?
But what did DeepSeek do? They took everything that was already available from the last AI model, and then they recalibrated it.
So are you going to ban Chinese AI in France?
So we don't have this American approach of banning tech because of where it comes from.